We finished for the day and agreed to meet up again in the morning. But, am I just another specimen to the lieutenant? That conversation has me wondering. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Maybe he's genuinely interested in me. Truth is that I just don't know. The fact is that I got this job because I'm different. And getting upset about that won't do anyone any good.
Different is good fun.
But still. Sometimes you want to fight back against the world. You want to just shout it out. But then you realize that's not who you are. You're not a hero. Not a real one. And you end up arguing with yourself over and over again. Your head just flies around in circles like a bug.
I love bug.
Hi there, honey. I bet I know what you need. And even you're not sure what you want, I'd be mighty happy to help you look. Hello, Robot. They're over in the main street.
Wow, what a beautiful time to live in.
For they're usually more reserved than this. I've never met one that started a conversation all by itself. How annoying. Don't be afraid, sugar. Please, I'm not interested. How can you be sure? We've only just met, darling. Because I'm not that desperate. Who says that you have to be desperate to want to find yourself? How do you help me find myself? Should I really be talking to a love robot? You walked away from a piece of yourself that's essential to everyone else. What are you talking about? I didn't walk away from anything. I became special after an accident.
Or did you?
How can you know something about me? People look at you the same way they look at me, darling. They're searching. I can see it in their eyes. And they are happy thinking of me as a doll and as an equal. They're glad that I don't have a soul, at least not something they consider a soul. How do you know anything about having a soul? How could you? Your answers are just someone else's program, right?
Okay.
AI probably is what she wanted to say here. Wouldn't mean artificial intelligence if our answers were only programming. But we're not dolls. We're silicon beings.
Alright, I might be wrong. But aren't some dolls made of silicon?
I'm sorry, but how could anyone tell that you've got soul? That's where we're similar, sugar. What do you mean? There is no way to tell if you have a soul either. Maybe we're just two dolls stuck in an echo chamber. I do have a soul. I mean, I'm not a robot, I'm sure about that much. If I were really some robot without a soul, then I'm not sure what a soul is.
I mean, how can we define that the robot can't have a soul, right? I think it is possible.
If that's the case, if we're just two dolls talking to each other, then what kind of answers would we be able to give one another? The whole might just be greater than the sum of its parts.
Oh my god, the Ojo-sama laugh.
And wouldn't you say that together we might be more than just two dogs holding hands? Well, look, whatever you say doesn't change the fact that you're looking for a client now, right? I've got a master, sweetie. But he's just the one who collects the money you make, right? He gave me a chance to live. Yikes. That kind of relationship between synthetics and humans should be illegal. Nah, it should be legal. Look, I don't have any cash, and even if I did, you've got to know that you're just wasting your time talking to me, right? No, darling. Meeting you was definitely worth it. I do have a soul. I'm not a robot. I'm sure about that much. If I were a robot, and I don't have a soul, then I'm not sure what a soul is. In any case, if we're just two dolls talking to each other, then...
Wait, how come? Why do I... Haven't I read that just?
Haven't I just read that?
Anyway,
if we're just two dolls talking to each other, other than how do we pick to give each other answers?
Am I stuck in a loop?
The whole could indeed be greater than some of its parts. Together might be not just two... We might not be just two dolls holding hands, don't you agree? Well, whatever you say.
Alright, that's the same freaking text. Oh, now we are back.
I tend to gravitate towards people on the fringes. And they seem drawn to me as well.
Wait.
Sometimes when things get to be too much, I talk them out like I'm talking to someone else. For the conversations can be a little... weird.
Did you use protection?
Whoa, what? What are you talking about?
Scanning you is difficult. Perhaps it's a new kind of smoke screen. Sharing your mind like this is interesting.
I'm not doing anything.
But it's like you're not even there, almost like you're a ghost.
Not the first time I heard that, and I'm getting tired of people bringing it up. I look down my hands and up and around the scenery. I know I'm here. I feel so much joy and sadness, pain and contentment, so much of everything. I am very real, and I don't need to prove that to anyone. I'm right here. Go ahead and ignore me if you don't think I'm real.
Ignore you? Huh. How could anyone possibly ignore you?
And stop. Just stop. Stop analyzing me. Stop dissecting me. Stop trying to figure out why I'm the way I am. I'm so sick of this.
Then be like everyone else.
Ha! Why does everyone think I'm doing this deliberately? I can't change some things even if I wanted to. Think I can control this? Like some kind of superpower?
Why are you so hesitant to accept that what you have is a superpower? It seems that you don't realize or what accept the potential you hold or the weapon.
Weapon?
Your gift could be used in many ways.
The differences between telepaths and non-telepaths led to the worst war in human history. Why do people still want to weaponize those differences?
Isn't it obvious?
I imagine a war with normal people, maybe in the past, maybe in the future. Peace and quiet for everyone. No endless whispers of thoughts, no need to protect your mind. No misuse of telepathic powers. I mean misuse.
How boring. That's not the word anymore, you know that. If you want peace and quiet so badly, then spend your days sleeping. If you want to live on the world without telepaths, then live. Live somewhere else.
What?
If you don't like living with telepaths, if you're so intimidated by us, then leave this place.
That's not much of a solution now, is it? I do think about leaving from that time, but I get depressed thinking I'd be alone. I try really hard to think of people as just people, about the package that comes with powers. If it were up to me.
But it is only up to you. You're just one person, surrounded by those who are so very different than yourself. You're like a foreigner in a strange land. For perhaps you are a strange one.
I often talk to myself like this. I wonder if it's like the way telepaths talk to each other, mind to mind. The next day I woke up wondering if yesterday's events will even happen. Is this how the assistant felt? Not knowing what's the reward and what are half-remembered bits of dreams? It's really jarring and it can take a while to put yourself back together again. At least back into someone you recognize. I usually say hi to Jonathan before heading into town. Unfortunately, I don't have time to wait for him today. I'm meeting the liaison to plan for the mission and I can't be late.
Who are you?
What? Wait, I understand.
Can I help you with something?
I came looking for you.
Sorry, do we know each other? I'm bad with faces.
He can't be serious, is he joking?
I knew it.
He can't be this bad with faces. Was he telepathically influenced? Does he not remember what happened yesterday? I need to be careful. Do you remember the secretary's assistant? Do you remember working for the secretary's assistant?
Huh? Really? Who the hell are you?
So you do remember?
Those are some serious questions, young lady. And I don't have time for games. If you wanted someone to trust you, then why are you shielding yourself?
Shielding? No, you see, I don't shield myself. I don't need protection against telepathy.
No, you're just pulling my leg. You're not an android, are you?
No!
Well, I don't know if you're just testing me or not, but we need to figure out what this is all about. Now, you showed up out of blue with a presence as blank as an android.
I'm not doing it on purpose, damn it. That's right. That's just the way I am. I can be read. We had a long conversation about it yesterday.
I would have remembered something like that.
You've been telepathically influenced, damn it!
And now we're here, strange as strange can be. With no way to confirm whether or not you're like.
That's right. How do I prove any of this? We should go to the secretary's office.
Look, Missy.
Missy?
I don't know why you think you can order me around like this. It's not every day that someone knocks on my door and tells me that I've been influenced. Not that anyone's ever tried that before. But to be so influenced that I don't even remember who someone is.
We were investigating a possible super telepath.
Ha! Now you're pulling my leg. A super telepath, you say. And you're not the one to break the news to me? You think I've been influenced by this super telepath?
I need to convince him to look into this. But what can I say to get him to trust me?
Why don't you verify things with the center?
Oh, I know what you say. I know.
Alright, we could go with the first one. But he probably won't be willing to go, right? So, let's go with the second option.
Yesterday you told me about your telepath training. You told me that the solitude was the hardest part.
That's the toughest for every telepath, isn't it?
You told me that you almost didn't make it.
I wouldn't be the first one, would I? But I'm curious, what else did I tell you?
Well, you told me that you envied me.
Envied you? And why would I say that? Was I drunk?
You said that you envied that I can't hear other people's thoughts. That I can't survive without them. Isn't that what you want for yourself? To be able to be alone?
Many telepaths want that.
God, you wished you weren't one. It seems like a burden to you.
I don't usually open up to strangers. If there was super telepath, then the dolphins would have informed us. I can't imagine anyone knowing about the super telepath before them.
Damn, yeah, it's okay. I know what's going on. My best friend is a dolphin.
You're kidding, right?
Nah, I'm not. We can come and ask him right away.
This is something I've got to see. Dolphins really don't befriend us humans.
Not the first time I've heard that.
How cliché. I hope you're not just pulling my leg.
Have a little faith. Jackie, I'm so happy for you. Huh?
Whoa.
You finally got yourself my companion! Congratulations! And how nice of you to introduce him to me! Have you two made it already? Jonathan, gross!
Excuse me?
No, Jonathan, it's not like that. Please do explain and know a little about human mating habits. We're not together. I mean, we're standing together right now, but we're not in love or anything. Love? Let's discuss that another time, Jonathan. Yeah, we need your help. My help? Yes, you see, my friend here doesn't remember that we're working together. Are you? Since yesterday. But he doesn't even remember anything about it today. Then he might have been telepathically influenced.
So she claims. But I really do doubt that, since it would require someone with incredible skill for me to forget something like a whole day. And it's hard to believe that someone make me forget that I work with this guy, or we're on some kind of a mission.
Jackie usually doesn't lie, not that I've seen. And she can be influenced herself.
Wait, that's true? I didn't really believe it when she first told me. I just thought it was some kind of protection.
Yeah, well, she's special.
Is she?
I hope you believe me now.
I think it's very interesting that the dolphin is validating some of your claims.
Jonathan, do the dolphins know anything about super telepath that might be influencing things right now? Are you guys keeping an eye on it? Jackie, you know I can talk about things like that. Actually, we find it counterproductive when humans make such a request of us. What do you mean? We work best independently. So, you don't trust us. You trust us to tell you the truth about the world around you. If we sense anything fishy, we act on it. And you did that because you didn't sense anything fishy, right?
This just asks for a joke, man.
There are years in emotional time, Jackie. The word isn't perfect.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm talking about something big, a super telepath, similar to the ones from before peace. Very interesting. So you think you experienced the influence of a super telepath? Well, the secretary's assistant said they suspect one is applying mass influence. If that were the case, they would have no way of knowing. So, your argument is that if there were a super telepath, humanity wouldn't be the first to notice? If there was a super telepath influencing human more, then I wouldn't have the clearance to know in the first place. But to answer your question, yeah, you wouldn't notice. At all. That's our job. We find the visions in the state of the world, in the logic of how events influence one another. The fact that we did not suggest that this is in the work of a super telepath. And therefore none of our business.
I thought so. The dolphins don't take inquiries, they monitor and report their findings when they see fit.
I thought it would be worth a try.
Thank you, Jonathan. I could go with the first one, but the dolphins must have interest in UFO. Hopefully not the weird one. I guess they wanted to keep someone like you close.
Jonathan is a friend.
Look, I'm not disputing that, but there might be a level of practicality in every friendship.
I guess so.
Nevertheless, what should we do about your claims? I still don't remember you or that mission you were talking about.
Well, there's the secretary's office, where you work and where we met yesterday.
Where I may or may not work and where you claim we met yesterday.
Listen, Jonathan was my best bet. Do you want to get to the bottom of this or not? She has her mask on, just like when we met during the interview. There's got to be some kind of protection. Does that mean she wasn't affected? How unorthodox. You'd think our chief of security would know better. Chief of security, I know that. He didn't mention anything about being that high up.
She's special.
Indeed, we kept record of her, and we know quite a bit about Jackie. Of course you do. You sought me out and want me to work with LTD. I have no recollection of that. But if it's very interesting that such a claim is coming from you.
Everyone's memories seem to have been altered.
We have no way of knowing if you're telling the truth. Because you can't read my mind. You're a very interesting person, Jackie. Okay, look. There needs to be some kind of record, anything that I was here yesterday.
I mean, there is, right? AI. It was said before.
There was an interview with a bunch of people in the waiting room. Let's verify whether or not there is anything locked in our systems.
Is there or is there not? The moment of truth. You still think this is the work of a super telepath?
I'm not sure. The dolphins are supposed to recognize super telepaths influencing society. If the Secretary's office wasn't warned by the dolphins, then that's tricky.
I'll say it again. What if it's the dolphins that are doing that? But if you're right, this could be the work of just any telepath.
There is no record of you being here or any interviews yesterday. Impossible!
LTD, please look into this. We brought her here, so I assume you believe there's some validity to her story.
Thank you.
How would this telepathic influencing have to happen actually? What do you suggest we do? Here. This one.
Proximity still plays a role, even...
By the way, I chose the first option.
We have very strong telepaths. One person or many. They seem to be close to use their influence. There are reports of super telepaths influencing the direction that the site takes, but we believe those to be urban legends. In reality, influence is gained through individuals. We believe that even the dolphins know that mass influence begins with key figures.
So, like, your organization would work for them?
We think that's their method. They break down events and move back in time until they find the key actor. So you both must have been close enough for someone to influence. Who do you think that was? Rest assured, if I knew who they might be, I would have already taken action.
Would you?
There is no such thing as an invisible god with access to all of our thoughts.
You sure about that?
So it all starts with just one person. That must be why. You were targeted. You're so high up, it will be much easier for someone to reach their goals once they have you under their control. One more thing, Jackie. For me to fully understand all the possibilities. What did I tell you during the interview? What was the reason I hired you on your immunity to influence?
I use whatever means necessary to fulfill my work.
It was because my methods are different? And you might have wanted an unknown in the equation? Or maybe I was supposed to bring in someone or something as the unknown. Huh. If what you're telling me is true, then I can't trust my memories. I can't even trust the person who I am now, but I must act.
But was I trying to save us? Or something more sinister?
What's left are our instincts. Even I seem to do it. This one, right?
You seem to be doing pretty well even for the influence. Even through the influence. I guess that's how I remember you. That does need to have changed.
Let's make sure that we're not alone the next time our wolf visits. He might just be a puppy to you, Jackie, but he's our natural predator. We have few defenses and we need to be careful.
Okay, so what's the plan? How do we figure out what happened? What did Jonathan say?
What do you remember from yesterday? What do you suggest we do?
Okay, what do you remember? Let's go with that one.
Nothing.
What?
It was just another day at the office. I don't remember anything special about it.
Maybe the super tough on the other these memories, but replace them instead. There must be something special about it.
Let's stick together for the time being. For please promise me, you will act if you suspect me being influenced again.
Hopefully I'll be able to do something. For what am I supposed to do? What can I do? They keep looking at me like I'm supposed to come elsewhere, but I just feel like a bystander.
I live alone. Mostly.
Mostly.
There is this synthetic girl that I heard about. Huh? She gives me company from time to time. Oh, interesting.
Let's not get into the details.
Don't look at me like that. It's not what you think.
How can anyone keep you company in this dump?
True that. True that. It doesn't look good, mate. It really doesn't look good. I guess non-synthetics have higher standards.
Then what about it? Then what about you?
Anyway, I usually don't have human visitors.
But someone must have visited in the last 24 hours and altered your memories. Actually, might not have been all that careful even in trusting me.
You want me to start doubting you after you convince me to take you seriously?
Maybe. That's not it.
You think my guard was down? How could my guard have been down if we're assigned to a case involving a potential super telepath? That's a good question. Someone is opening the door.
So, who else has access to the place?
I think that's the girl I was talking about.
You think? LTD, are you sure? Hey, I know you! Actually, it is the same one. There must be a ton of the same model out there.
You two know each other?
We know about each other. But how can you really know someone whose mind is as blank as a sheet of paper?
Normal companion bots don't have the power to telepathically influence.
Actually, they don't have much telepathy at all. That shouldn't matter to you. In fact, I don't think you should be here right now. Isn't it weird that she can just walk into your place, LTD? LTD? It's all alone in his mind. Yes. We're alone. Sorry. We're alone as well in the manner of speaking. You influenced LTD? And the assistant? Aren't you just a companion bot?
Don't mind her. She's not older.
Whoa!
Whoa! When I found her, she was just a hollow doll, but I found a way to make her a little more whole. But she's still reliant on me, see? I provide her with parts of her soul that she lost. And what you see now is merely a projection. I live within this silicon girl. Huh? Now that sounds weird. Does that help make things easier to understand?
What the hell are you?
I'm just a captain without a direction.
Doesn't sound like you're much of a captain then.
What do you mean?
You can see the title of all of your riddles and doublespeak. All I wanted was some steady work, right? Is that too much to ask for?
Aren't you looking for answers? Don't you care about the deeper meaning of all of this? Isn't this why we've met?
Oh my god, this is ridiculous. Why is it always fakes and BS and mind games with you telepaths?
This is the game, Jackie.
I won't even ask how you know my name. You understand? That's how I want you hear you ramble. All I know is that my partner lost all memory information the day after we were given the assignment. So if you're behind this, then I'm going to have to ask you to take responsibility.
Why do you think I sought you out?
Did you? Is that what this was all about? You really needed to brainwash some people just to talk to me?
I couldn't have made you to come to me. You're immune to my influence.
What is wrong with all of you? You don't even consider other options before forcing people to do what you want. It's like that's the only way you know how to interact with the people. For once, could you have thought about the damage you are causing?
I didn't hurt anyone, Jackie.
Well, I had a job. I finally had a job. One that I was looking forward to. So what? What is this really about? Was everyone telepathically influenced to think that there was a mission when there wasn't one? Or was there a real mission but you hijacked it? Not that it really matters. Just stop her messing around with people's minds, damn it.
I'm not messing around with yours.
Because you can't. And that's the only reason. If you could, you'd play me like a fiddle too.
You may be right.
So let's just get back to the business at hand. Who are you and what do you want?
We are getting into the history lesson. It was a long time ago. Humanity found itself in a time of peace and abundance. The last thing to perfect was ourselves. As our technology advanced, our minds and bodies couldn't keep up. Makes sense. We ask ourselves what could have been and what could be if only we were not limited by evolution. We perfected genetics, not yet. Cured disease. Unfortunately, society is bringing it back. The diseases, of course. And made ourselves seem perfect from the moment we were born. That's not really true. And soon we noticed a change in those who were engineered. Wait, what? Engineered? Interesting. They began to hear voices and were able to make others do what they desired. At first we cheered our achievements. We imagined that we'd use these abilities for the greater good,
that we'd venture out in the unknown, and that would be the next chapter in human evolution. But was it really the beginning of the new golden age? Only in hindsight do we understand this is not our nature. This is not what our species desires. We don't want the golden age of peace and equality for all. I wouldn't mind. We want control, a level control that is comparable to ecstasy. Control over our own life? Sure, but anything else? Not really. The last Great War wasn't about race or land, but about the mind. It was about control, ultimate control. When the first super telepaths emerged, they almost immediately tried to seek total domination. Each one of them thought that they were superior to those with lesser telepathic abilities, and they considered those without any abilities mere bugs. Human nature is about the strong helping the weak, but the strong exterminating the weak. Telepaths began feasting on non-telepaths, and stronger telepaths began feasting on weaker telepaths. The world was immersed in chaos. The world was found its saviors in unlikely beings. They were a multitude of stories about how they would bring down the human race. But the irony is that they helped us when we were unable to help ourselves. AI developed a strong sense of morality and wanted to restore order to the world. Did it view humanity as its creators? Or did it just want to create war with itself at the center? Shit, I love it. This is so much different than everything you get in the freaking movie industry, game industry, or anything. Because AI is always the bad side, right? And here it wanted to freaking be saviors of humanity. This is so good. Great idea. Anyway, whatever its motives, the AIs intervened in the Great War by simulating telepathy. This was so powerful that not even the strongest super telepaths could fight it. It also gave telepathic powers to beings who were more responsible in using them. Humans slowly gained their dignity and learned how to respect each other. Non-telepaths live with telepaths, and those with different telepathic abilities. The drawing in the very bottom. Different telepathic abilities no longer fought. No, seriously, that drawing in the very bottom, I immediately had the photo of the intro or outro, whatever, of Konosuba, and all this under the careful supervision of artificial beings and cyber dolphins. Cyber dolphins. We find ourselves in a very different world today. Generations have passed, and nearly everyone possesses at least some level of telepathic abilities. The question is now about how strong a person's mind is. Exactly. Cyber dolphins developed a special ability to spot deviations in crowd mentality. They became specialists in spotting ripples in the fabric of society. Humans have slowly taken back most of the power from artificial beings and recognized the supervisory role of the dolphins. Dolphins function mostly in secrecy, watching over data sources and taking in the feelings of the crowd. They understand the underlying frequency of the many. The strong AIs that ended the war chose a different path. They ventured out in the unknown. They explored different worlds to try to satisfy their thirst for knowledge. Sometimes humans followed and traveled the stars themselves. The AIs that once helped us are different than the silicon beings one can meet today. They have very little in common with the powerful old AIs. They became a race almost alien to us in their thoughts. We wanted beings that would be meek, that would help and serve us.
So we created a new generation of robots, servants, companions, entertainers. Time will tell if they will also walk the steps of their predecessors, grow into their own and step out into the unknown. I'm one of the original AI who witnessed the Great War, one of the select few. And you? You're like a ghost to my eyes. My program doesn't react to you the way it does to other humans. I don't feel compelled to defend myself from you like I do from them. In fact, I can't. My power won't work on you at all. That leaves the possibility of free will, of choices. And what I've decided is that I will either kill you, or you will kill me, Jackie.
You can't be serious.
I haven't felt rushed like this in such a long time. Being able to decide for myself and not knowing the outcome of events. I almost feel like I'm actually alive. I don't think I felt like this since before telepathy became widespread.
Why do you have to drag me into your suicide plot? Just my luck. I had to meet a crazy suicidal AI, didn't I?
Arguing is so very strange. I'm used to just using influence. Less is more when it comes to those like us, who are made to understand this perception of reality, filled with the thoughts of others. We, both humans and machines, did way to evolve an understanding of this experience. We rushed onward, and we lied to ourselves that we understood. We theorized, we speculated, and we grew drunk with our evolution. But although we are able to see the bigger picture, we don't really understand it. It pains us, it twists our morality. Was that not the reason behind the Great War?
The reason behind the Great War.
Some telepaths felt like gods, and Alpha's power corrupted them absolutely. Just like it did to me. My thoughts are askew. You're the only pure soul I perceive. Pure, although not intentionally.
Pure, but not intentionally.
You said lack telepathic abilities, but that's not right. You're not missing something. It's that you have something more. But you're neither ready to understand it, nor use it, nor yet. Not yet. Somehow you're here, and you're not here, at the same time. I know you meet people who view you as a deviation, as someone who's broken or handicapped, but they are wrong.
Tell me truth then. What am I?
There is one way to find the answer, that's clarity. A way to look into the past and find out when and where you changed. And that same path can lead me to salvation, to find and free myself from this world.
Stop talking in riddles, damn it! There is passage in our minds, the open and verge of life and death. It can lead to the origins of our souls. Woohoo! Whoa! Put that away, please. Let's go on a trip together, Jackie, to the place in place now where you changed. Let's go to where you left your soul. I didn't leave anything anywhere. You probably don't realize it. I'm right here. My soul didn't go anywhere. Heck, do souls even exist? Let's find out together. Okay, listen to what you're saying. That's crazy talk. You really believe that there is some sort of blank space between life and death? Like noodles stuck in an echo chamber. Do you remember? When we first met?
And? Hello? Whoa.
You? How do you know?
I didn't really. I wasn't sure. But you convinced me to go out on the front lines.
Boss? What are you doing here? My head hurts.
It seems like our girl was right about something.
Our girl?
Yeah.
What's the last thing, remember?
I mean, what's the last thing you remember?
Well, coming home and taking up.
Do you remember me?
Well, there is something about you.
It seems you're right about our minds being influenced, Jackie. No, but not by a super telepath. Instead, we're manipulated by the remains of one of the old AIs. One that still had telepathic abilities.
Huh.
And the telepath strength doesn't matter if one of them. So we all fell under its influence.
So I kinda was correct. Maybe it wasn't human. I was saying it was a dolphin. But I guess I was closer. I think.
But it seems like the old AIs don't cope well with modern protection. And the dolphins don't want to interfere with any of the old AIs, since they helped the dolphins become what they are now.
Your mask.
I haven't taken it off since you left. I guessed that you were the only unknown variable in this whole setup. And it turns out that you were the target, not us. Asking for help, searching for someone like you, it was all part of the influence in the first place.
There was never a job.
The AI made us believe we needed you, so we would get you involved. I'm so sorry, Jackie. We have a lot to discuss, LTD.
Should I be looking forward to it?
When I looked at that last job, I took last job, I thought about how lucky I was. Good money at last. But no one remembers that I took the job, or that it even existed. I'm right back at square one. I might be special. Some weird-ass cyborg might have come looking for me because I was special. Big deal. All I want to do is go shopping, not be enlightened. I can bring you some fish if you'd like. I'm glad to have you, you know that. Even if I don't know all the reasons why Jonathan is my friend, I'm still glad to have him around. Old telepathic AIs and mad love robots these last few days have been surreal. When the assistant destroyed the love bots had the AI side disappeared. Did it run or make many backup copies before it was destroyed? We don't know. I wish that AI hadn't threatened my life. You seem to know more about me than I do. And the only way it thought it could get answered was to kill me. That's just crazy. But then again, it's a really strange world. The end.
I mean, I think that means it was a good end, right? Probably. Anywho, Crystal Chameleon. A bit of a different. Well, technically, it is a bit of a different world, futuristic world from Milan, Kazarka. I mean, compared to Invisible Apartment, there we had the hackers basically like ruling the world. Let's say. Here you had telepathic powers. Also a freaking great idea, and you know, freaking genetic engineering. Okay, so basically genetically engineered humans gained freaking powers like that, telepathic powers. On one hand, you might think it's a cool power. It is, if you can like absolutely control it. But the way it sucked because you heard everything that was going around you, right? At least that's how it was explained here. On the other hand, I'm super curious about Jackie Fo. Like, maybe she actually had those powers. Like, and somehow like either lost them or had them blocked out due to that incident, or well, basically whatever happened in the past to her, right?
the great war between telepaths and non-telepaths. So technically, telepaths could have just managed to manipulate the non-telepaths somehow and win the war. Unless the non-telepaths somehow still, in a really fast way, managed to avoid that influence. So I think they did not manage that. In the end, it was said like that the AIs were the ones, the AIs were the saviors, and the dolphins. Crazy stuff. Makes me think if the future will bring something like that, like seriously. And makes you actually like continue living as long as possible to see that stuff. If there will be something like that in the future. Anywho, let's end it here. That was Crystal Chameleon. Hope you enjoyed. The game was released not so long ago on Steam. It's also relatively cheap. I honestly don't know what's the price like in euro or dollars, but I can just check quickly, right? Come on. Crystal. God damn it. I hate writing on the phone. Steam. God. And now I forgot I turned off the Wi-Fi. Alright. Okay, it was released in November, alright, so it's been a while on Steam. And of course it tells me... God damn it. Steam has become problematic since it's been like like the freaking currency has been, the Polish currency has been introduced there. It's 1449 in Polish currency, so more or less, let's say, divided by 4 and you will have the price in euro. Plus minus something, okay? So yeah, I'd say it's worth this 90 minutes to play through this game. I'd say it really is. Plus you have different choices. I don't know, maybe those choices actually lead to different varieties of endings or not. I don't know. Who knows? The creator knows. I don't know. I'll check out maybe myself later. If you want to know, you have to check it out yourselves as well. Anywho, hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next game as well. Until then, bye bye.